Good morning. Welcome to Thursday at SEC Football Media Days, and we'll begin our day with the head coach of the University of Arkansas, Sam Pittman, who's entering his 5th season as head coach of the Razorbacks. Sam played defensive end at Pittsburgh State, where he was an NAIA All-American and twice earned all-conference recognition. Earned his bachelor's degree at Pittsburgh State, and he was inducted into the Pittsburgh State Athletics Hall of Fame in 1998. He won a shot put state title as a high school student back at Grove High School. Among his many talents, he is able to play the piano and guitar, something that he was required to do by his parents. He and his siblings learned how to play an instrument. He also played the tuba in high school. He has a new puppy named Latte, who's chewing things up. Welcome to the stage, University of Arkansas head football coach Sam Pittman.
Morning, everybody. My buddy Jim Chaney said NAIA means never an ineligible athlete, and that's how I got into school, but I don't know about all that. Thank you, Mr. Sankey. Appreciate it. What a wonderful job he does for us. We are prepared. Never is there a moment where we're going, we find out something from the media, from a different conference. And we are very, very lucky, very fortunate to have Mr. Sankey as our leader. I want to tell a story about Monty Kiffin. And he was the defensive coordinator at Arkansas in 1977, 78, and 79. Lou Holtz was the head coach in those 3 years. With his expertise of coaching defense, the Razorbacks finished 3, 11, and 8 in the national polls when Coach Kiffin was the defensive coordinator. 1978, the Grove Ridge Runners played the Miami War Dogs. Coach Kiffin came over to the game. Now, I always knew I wanted to be a coach. And Coach Kiffin came over to the game, and he was there to see Todd Berry. Todd Berry was the #1 ranked quarterback in the state of Oklahoma. He was not there to see any of the Grove Ridge Runners. We lost the game late, 21-16, and Charlie Cooper, our head football coach there at Grove, Coach Kiffin came in and asked could he talk to the team. And he came in and he said some unbelievable things about our toughness and our fight and our grit. And I remember, you know, the impact that his speech that it made on me. And I thought, you know, as I become a coach, how we can change lives and how we can be meaningful to young athletes, young people. By the way that Coach Kiffin talked to us that day. I'll never forget that as long as I live. The other thing I want to say is about Coach Saban. When Coach Saban had interest in me, it changed Jamie and I's life. It changed our life financially. It changed our life in myself having confidence in my ability. And then whenever I went to the head coaches meeting, it goes in alphabetical order, and I sat right next to Coach Saban, and I'm not saying he took me under his wing, but I was nervous sitting next to him. I'm sure I asked him more questions than what he might wanted to answer, but he answered every one of them. And I think there's a reason why I went and worked for Kirby at Georgia. I think it had a lot to do with Coach Saban. Derek Dooley started that at Tennessee. But Coach Saban's the GOAT, and he is someone that our league is going to miss dearly, and I just wanted to talk about that. I want to thank Hunter Yurachek. You know, we work with a great group of people at Arkansas. And, you know, Mike and Bucky and Dave and Cal and Shauna and Jordan and Courtney. just wonderful people to work with. Chris Johnson just won the national championship in women's track, and just a great group of people. And it's really about what the state of Arkansas is all about. And we brought Taylon Green, Andrew Armstrong, and Landon Jackson here. All three of those guys have Texas ties. Taylon Green, obviously, is our quarterback, transferred in January. Bobby Petrino went out and handpicked him. He's perfect for what Coach Petrino wants to do for our offense, and he's got great leadership skills. He's a wonderful athlete, and I'm excited for you guys to meet him today. Andrew Armstrong is also from Bishop Dunn here in Dallas, a wide receiver. He was our top production wide receiver last year. He's excited to be back in Dallas. You'll enjoy him as well. Landon Jackson led our team in sacks, led our team in tackles for losses last year. He was also a captain for us last year. He's right here from Pleasant Grove High School in East Texas, and we're happy to have those three with us. They, along with a lot of guys, are developing a culture, along with Ben Souders and the Streak staff, that is like no other. I'm so excited about this football team, and I'm excited about the talent level, but I'm also excited about the culture, about the way these guys treat each other, the way they talk to each other, the way they go out with each other, the way they compete against each other. Over the past 4 years, we've been invited to 3 bowl games. 2 of the last 3 years, at some point in the season, we've been ranked in the top 10. And I love this team. I love our coaches. Our expectations are as high as they've ever been for this season coming up. If we can take 4-20 to 9-4, we can deal with 4-8 too, and that's what we're going to do. I'm very excited about the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coach and staff, we have a new coordinator, Bobby Petrino. You guys are very familiar. If you're familiar with football, you're familiar with Bobby Petrino. Did a wonderful job at the University of Arkansas and other places. Been a head coach in the National Football League as well. Bobby's been a great resource for me. Not only I think he's a wonderful offensive coordinator, he also was a very successful head coach, and so there's a lot of times where I'm able to run things by him, and we decide collectively at times what's best for the University of Arkansas football team. Ronnie Fouch, our new wide receiver coach, come in from Missouri State, has done a wonderful job. Kobe Smith was with the Miami Dolphins. He's our new running back coach. And Eric Mateus is our new offensive line coach. Eric Mateus has done a wonderful job with our offensive line, and very excited about that group. Special teams wise, we return our 2 snappers in Stein and No. We have a kicker battle going on between Shipley, Ramsey, and Vito. Our punter will be Devin Bell, returning from last year. Sategna, we're very excited about him as a returner. On offense, we have a lot to improve on. We think we address that in the portal with 4 offensive linemen and 3 portal running backs. Obviously went out and got a quarterback as well. Our wide receiver group is returning. But I think the most improved part of our football team this spring was our offensive line. I'm excited about that group. Defensively, we were much improved a year ago. Fewest yards allowed since 2010, best pass defense since 2014, and led the nation in defensive touchdowns with 5. We have to finish the season. We did not do that well. We've got to figure out how to win the close games, and we lost 5 games by a touchdown or less. We've got to figure that out. We feel like we're well on our way to getting that accomplished. I like the new schedule format. I think we're going to be able to see every team in our stadium over a 4-year span, and we'll be able to go to every team stadium in the SEC. This year, home with Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas, and away with Auburn, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Missouri. We play 7 preseason top 25 teams. That's how it is in the SEC. They also have to play the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're excited about our non-conference opponents this year. We go to Oklahoma State week 2. I really like that game. It's 3 hours away. They have a great program, great coach. Excited about going over there to Oklahoma State. 13 returning starters, 5 on offense, 6 on defense, and 2 on special teams. We added 17 high school scholarships addition and 22 through the portal that were scholarship players. 2024 season's a fresh start. We've been working tirelessly to address the areas we need improvement. Our players have shown remarkable resilience and commitment this offseason. We know our fans deserve a team that competes at the highest level. We're committed to making that happen. The support from our Razorback community has not wavered. It fuels our drive to turn things around. Our focus is to embrace the hog, which means we need to be tough, we need to be together, we need to be consistent, accountable, and do it with pride. I think we've accomplished that this summer. We've accomplished that through the spring ball. Every setback's an opportunity for a comeback. We've embraced that mindset. I believe in our players and our staff and our state and our direction that we're heading in, and that we're going to rise to the challenge for a great 2024 season. With that, I'll take questions.
Thank you, Coach Pittman. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you. Daniel, Nolan, or KD. And please state your name and affiliation. So we'll come all the way up here to the front. Start here on the second row right here on the aisle. Trey.
Hey, Coach. Trey Biddy, Hog Sports, 24/7 Sports. I know you guys look day to day into that first game, but I am curious, you've seen the schedule. What do you think about playing your first 5 games in 5 different venues? I don't know if any other team in the country is doing that. And just what do you think about that challenge? And have you given it much thought?
Well, yes, we've obviously talked about the schedule. The deal with that, Trey, is you know, as long as we are involved in the game in Dallas and we're involved in the game in Little Rock, we're going to have home games. This one in Dallas is a away game, but we're going to have home games that are away from our university. And I can remember, I think we had a stretch in there where we had, maybe it's 2 years ago, where we had 3 home games on the schedule, but we played in Razorback Stadium 1 of those, 5 games. That over the three of the 5 were home. All I can say is we're going to try to embrace that. Last year we had the away games right there in a row. What was it, at Alabama, at LSU, on the road. We need to do a better job than what we did a year ago. The difference is a little bit too, Trey, is the time. There'll be at 11 o'clock, there'll be at noon, there'll be a night game. So we'll certainly have to get ready for that. I do know that our first 2 games are going to be at night and then in the morning, and then our third game is going to be in the afternoon. So we'll have covered all those. So then the 4th and 5th time we go to a new venue, at least we should have been able to cover the time frame of the game and the schedule that wise with the kids.
Coach, we're going to go straight right in front to the right near aisle.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Cody Clearman on Texas football. Last time Texas played Arkansas, it was not a good outcome for Texas. They come back to Fayetteville this fall, and coming into the SEC adds a new layer of the rivalry. Steve Sarkisian was quoted saying, "Arkansas hates Texas more than they like themselves." I just want to know what your response to that statement is.
Well, I will say this. We hadn't played Texas for years, and when we played them a couple of years back, it was the most excited our fan base has been in a while. So I would say he's probably right. The difference is Texas is certainly a different team. than what we played. That was his first year there, and now, obviously he's a great coach, great guy, and got a wonderful football team. But I'm glad that we're going to play them at home again. I don't know if that's fair because they came there 2 years ago, but it's an early morning game. But he's probably correct. You'd have to ask the old hats of Arkansas, but he's probably right.
Coach, will go straight in front of me, my table. Barry?
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World.
Hey, Barry.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Sam, we've got a 12-team playoff now. A lot more access to what people would consider a successful season. What does that do for a program like Arkansas?
Well, I think it gives you life. I do. We're all striving to get in the playoffs, including the University of Arkansas. And, when you lose a game and it's a 4-team, you got a problem. Georgia last year, one of the best teams in the country, didn't get in the playoffs, lost one game. And so this is going to give, I think you're going to see better football towards the end of the year because you're going to see some two-win teams get into the college playoffs, or two-loss teams get into college playoffs. And I just think it's going to continue to keep your team alive as you move forward. I think you're going to see better bowl games out of it, better teams in bowls. I think this 12 teams is going to make a big, significant difference in college football.
Coach, we'll go to the section and over to our right in the middle.
Coach. Emily Grace McWhorter from the next round. Last season, we saw flashes of just how good your Arkansas team can be. This season, how do you maximize on that potential?
Well, that's a great question. I think ours is all about consistency and finishing. Again, we lost 5 one-score games, but I think you're going to say that next year. You're going to say you either won them or, you know what I mean? You're not going to beat somebody by 21. It's hard. In this league. So I think it's going to be consistency, better game planning. We've got to be able to run the football. But I think we can capitalize on that. I really like this team. I really do. And I'm not trying to win media days. You guys know me. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. And I really like this team. And I think with the culture and the tightness of the team, I think you can win those games a little bit easier than if it's the other way.
Which will stay the center aisle right along the near aisle.
Coach Pittman, Drew Armin, WZZN Radio, Huntsville, Alabama. When you were hired by Arkansas, you were considered the best offensive line coach in college football. After you self-scouted and hired Eric Mateos, did you put a finger on what caused the struggles along the offensive line last year? And how did you guys game plan to attack the portal and improve that area of the football team?
Yeah, fair. Very fair. Talent-wise, we had to do better recruiting. And you talked about my O-line background. We've got to get better there. We wanted to attack. We had to go out and get 2 tackles. We have a player in Kudus that I really like. He lost his confidence out there. He was the best we had, but he lost his confidence out there. We move him inside. He's a heck of a player. He's one of the strongest guys on the team. Junior Carmona, Blackstock, and Nichols, those 3 guys, they're a little bit like Taylor Green in that his leadership is incredible, but they are too. And when you have guys that don't just want to play on the O-line, but they want to lead, and they want to say, hey, look, bro, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to do this. We extra here. When you have those guys in there, which we have, leading like that, I think that you can get a lot better. Eric Mateos is different because he doesn't only, hey, you need to talk to him. You need to talk to him. It's not necessarily about the play that he messed up. It's about, hey, what's going on at home? There's different roots to the problem. It may not be just between the ears. It may be life. It may be home. It may be girlfriend. And that's why I found Eric is just great at that, because the kids know he loves them and he thinks about them and he cares about them, and therefore they're going to play harder. I hope that was a trait that I had when I coached offensive line. I don't know if I did or not, but I hope that I had the trait that Eric has, because he can make kids play harder and better by the way that he talks to them and the way he treats them.
Coach, we'll go in this section in front of me, midway back. Kurt.
Hey, Coach. Steve Moulton, WCZN out
Hey,
of
Steve.
Alabama. Hope you're doing well.
Doing great.
I believe I heard you right when you said 17 high school players in this recruiting class,
Yes.
but also 22 out of the portal. So I was wondering the just evaluation of the portal and who you consult with to just. It feels like that was I wasn't expecting a larger number out of the portal rather than high school.
Sometimes what ends up happening is you're going high school. So our goal every year is try to get to 20. Okay, we did not, but we want to try to get to 20 out of high school. The next thing you do is go, okay, how many scholarships do I have? I need 3 O linemen. I need 2 D linemen. I need, and our guys at Arkansas ask me that all the time. They ask me, okay, where are you going to go? There's the next number. And then what you hope you get is a trade for a trade. In other words, you hope that if it's April and you get to, you'd be fine if you don't need anybody else. You'd be fine. Somebody goes in the portal, you trade that position for that position. That's what happened this year, and that's where the 8 came in at the 7 at the end, which made that number somewhat larger.
And we'll stay in that same section, about 4 rows.
Hey, Sam. Kurt Bowles from the Houston Chronicle.
Kurt.
We'll talk to you about the college football playoff a minute. 17 games for the 2 final teams.
Yeah.
Do you think conferences should get rid of the championship games to take 1 game off the schedule? And also, would you like to see the teams that host games adopt the NFL model and just keep hosting until the final championship game?
Well, I'd like to get to the damn SEC championship game. Is what I'd like to do. I'll say this. The game has hurt the league in the past. I don't think it, and I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if Mr. Sankey would agree with me, but, I remember when I was at Georgia, it hurt us. And then obviously this last year, it hurt Georgia. It's not going to now, obviously. Will there be some communication about that? Probably. But don't you want to see who the conference championship, who's the winner, I'd hate to see that game go. I know 17 is a long season, but I do think I think whoever's the top seed has an opportunity to host. I think that would be, they've earned it throughout the year. I think that would be the best way to do that.
Coach, we'll go in the center section.
Until you get to the bowl situation, and then we cannot cut any of the bowls out. None. Those are a way to get better and get your younger kids practicing. So, and I'm talking about, I don't mean Orange, Rose, and all that. I mean Liberty, Mayo. We need to continue to keep those.
Okay, we'll go straight down the middle aisle.
Sam, Carter Yates with Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You brought 3 guys who played Texas high school football here today. There are now 2 universities from Texas in your conference. How is that going to affect recruiting for y'all?
Well, we try to put a 6-hour radius around Fayetteville, and so obviously Dallas is in that radius, and of course we jump on down to Houston a little bit, about 8. But Texas, there's so many kids down here that can play. If you look at our state, we just don't have a populated state. So, we may have anywhere from 6 to 8 kids that can play football in the SEC, at least in our opinion. That doesn't make us right, but at least in our opinion. And you may, you come into Dallas and you'll get, what do you think, 50? probably SEC players at least, just in this area. So the more we can get on the team, obviously, the more familiar, the more stories we can have, the better off we'll be and the better we can do here, Dallas East.
Okay, we'll go right up front here in front of me, Tom.
Hey, Sam. Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat.
Yeah, Tom.
You added Bobby Petrino to your staff, already had a big name in Arkansas. I'm wondering how your mesh with him might be better than what it was last year at Texas A&M.
Man, that's hard to say because I'm not positive what happened over at A&M. Here's what I know. I hire people. I give my opinion, but he's the offensive coordinator, Travis the defensive coordinator, and that's his responsibility. Eric Matei's the O-line coach. Now I'm the oldest GA in the country. I'm helping him. I would want to work for me. I would want to work with me if I was an offensive coordinator, because I'm going to let you go get them. Now, I've got my ideas, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to have my tape up there, and I'm going to go, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this. But I would think if you asked Bobby and Travis and Scott Fountain, they'd say he gives me the freedom to run what I think's best. And I don't know about A&M. I don't know that. I just know that we've given him the freedom to go score points.
Time for a couple more. We'll start in the section in front of me near the back.
Hey, Sam. Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South. Speaking of Bobby, for those of us that don't get to see you on a daily basis and see your interactions with him, what's it been like having Bobby back in Fayetteville?
It's been great. I mean, he's passionate about he loves the Hogs. He likes to win. He likes to score points, you know, so it's been great. Again, I mentioned it before. I had Barry before that I could bump some head coaching questions off of. As I get older, the questions aren't as many, but or as I get more years of being a head coach. But it's like a security blanket. I got Bobby there. I had Barry there. I have Bobby there that I can run off things. And both those guys are not, hey, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. I'll ask them a question, and I want their opinion, and they know it. And we'll agree on it or we won't, but we're both grown men, and if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. We'll move on down the road. But that's been very beneficial to me, and I really like him, and I have a lot of respect for him. So it's just he spends more time in my office than anybody, and I apologize to him, but I say, hey, Bobby, come, you know, and I don't know if he likes it or not, but I do make him talk to me a lot.
Okay, we'll take one final question right in front here on the near aisle, third row. Colin.
Hey, Sam. Colin Wilson with the Action Network. Last year, you and I discussed the hire of Travis Williams, how aggressive he was from UCF, and you said not a lot of cover zero is going to be needed. It looks like 52 plays came in cover zero. But with this defensive line and how talented they are, is the plan to be even more aggressive with blitz, maybe even more cover zero than 52?
You know, I had a question earlier today about, you know, close games, tight games. Some of our discussion has been about our aggressiveness during the end of games defensively. You know, I think Travis did a wonderful job for us last year. But I don't want to handcuff him either, you know. So 52 of those plays, will it go up? Probably. But I do think we're a little bit better at corner and a little bit better in the safety spot to be able to cover zero, cover true man, that we can do that.
Coach Pittman, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Go Hogs.